A thread by Carlos Osuita. Let's examine Stopping the Coup, a childish attempt to prevent the re-election of President Trump. It's dead on arrival. DOA. From Breitbart, read, left-wing radicals post online guide to disrupting the country if election doesn't go the way they want. Here's the link if you want to marvel at the amazing stupidity. These people fail Civics 101. From docs.google.com, Stopping the Coup, the 2020 guide. It loses the plot on page 8. See phase 3? Action to demand that no winner is to be announced until every vote is counted, mass coordinated action. People in hell can demand ice water. Guess what happens? See, these imbeciles are making unconstitutional demands out of sheer ignorance. A state has a fixed number of electoral votes. When a candidate wins 51% of the popular vote in that state, the electoral votes are awarded to him or her. The counting can continue for another century, but the winner is declared. Nebraska and Maine award their electoral votes in a different way than the other 48 states. These two states allocate their electoral votes by the winner of 51% of the congressional districts. Now, it's slightly more complicated. Technically, the electoral votes are awarded to the candidate who wins the most voters or congressional districts. This is because sometimes third-party candidates run and get significant numbers of votes. But I used 51% as a simplifier. That's not a formal requirement. Trump will win on election night, and there isn't a damn thing leftists can do to stop it. The rest of the guide is pointless jibber-jabber. They're telling their brainless adherents to go out and demand something that will never, ever happen. These nutters claim that Trump is an authoritarian. They're the authoritarians. And Trump is a white supremacist. They're the white supremacists. They say hard work is a white concept that can't be applied to black people. Straight out of the mouth of the Ku Klux Klan. The entire guide is a fever dream shared by 11-year-olds. Did you know that leaderful is now a word? Well led is too confusing for these folks. The guide is a waste of time. I challenge anyone to finish it. While they're doing that, here's what Trump supporters are doing. Trump at the peaceful Trump rally in Beverly Hills. Link in the thread. Pure joy. Not grim little kids hallucinating about how they're revolutionaries. See, people take Trump seriously, but they also love him because he's fun. Why can't a president be fun? Why can't rallies be fun? The ideal leftist political rally. 2 minutes hate. From 1984, the film, link in the thread. And then, of course, a sped up version of the deeply mentally ill Keith Olbermann and his recent sick rant. The Nazi generals in charge of Paris, France, and Florence, Italy, refused to obey Hitler's orders to destroy the cities. Both cities are full of irreplaceable art and history. Instead, the generals signaled the advancing allies that Paris and Florence were open cities. Come on in. When the war is over, people fight to the death for 2 reasons. 1, they're fanatics. 2, death is better than what the enemy will do to you after you surrender. The Soviets showed the Germans no mercy. As a result, far more Russian soldiers died than British, Canadian, or American. When the Nazis couldn't surrender to the British or Americans, they fought to the death rather than surrender to the Soviets. When the enemy fights to the death, you lose more men. More and more Democrats are defecting. It's because Trump is delivering what they want too, and he isn't merciless, only to those who deserve it. Lots of leftists deserve no mercy. They've never had their asses kicked for real. The night Trump wins, order is restored nationwide. Democratic governors don't matter anymore. Not martial law. Trump could go in now, but Democratic voters had to finally suffer the consequences of their choices. Did you ever see this? 3 women attacked a man because they didn't like his jacket. I'll show you what happened after you watch it. Let's see how long this is. Link in the thread, 2 minutes, 1 second. All right, they're on a subway. They don't like his jacket. First, the woman hit him in the back of the head when he tried to walk away. That's her handbag. Totally unprovoked physical assault. He slapped her. Then a man stepped in and hit the tall guy with a stiletto butt. The tall guy is a 6'6" Dominican baseball player, an athlete. He beat the absolute hell out of the stiletto guy. The woman and stiletto guy were charged, but the Dominican walked. Self-defense. Remember, leftists now say that conservatives must be murdered for our thoughts. They call it self-defense. On election night, they'll learn what real self-defense is. As insane as it sounds, there are still too many of us wringing their hands about being too harsh. They think tweets are the end of the world. They'll vote for Trump as long as he doesn't make them afraid. After he's safely reelected, he'll show them what he could have done all along if they'd let him. The lesson will be learned. Trump is up against 6 decades of brainwashing. We have to cut the new Trump voters some slack until after the election. They'll see the error of their ways after Trump delivers law and order. All is well. There's nothing to worry about. See? Watch. Link in the description. Joe Biden malfunctions. Trump is fun. And he's delivering. What more can you ask for in a president?
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.